Welcome to the viewers for the lecture in the subject structural analysis. In the last few lectures, we have been discussing about the direct stiffness method. So, we have analyzed, first we have given the introduction, then we have discussed about the analysis of continuous beams with the kinematic indeterminacy equal to 2. Then in the last lecture, we have discussed two problems, one on a continuous beam with the kinematic indeterminacy equal to 1 and also a frame with the kinematic indeterminacy equal to 1. Now, we will take up a portal frame with the kinematic indeterminacy equal to 2. So, let us consider a symmetrical portal frame. Here, the frame is geometrically symmetrical. A is fixed, D is fixed. A with the moment of inertia I, see AB, and CD is also with the moment of inertia I. Of course, this is with the moment of inertia 2I, it is symmetrical. And the loading is also at the center, only a central concentrator load. Therefore, that is also symmetrical. The structure is geometrically as well as load wise symmetrical. Therefore, the structure will not be subjected to side sway. So, delta E equal to 0. Therefore, theta B is one possible unknown, theta C is another possible unknown, A and D are fixed, delta E equal to 0. So, therefore, the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure equal to 2, that is number of possible joint displacements equal to 2, symmetrical portal frame. Now, this frame let us analyze by matrix stiffness method. So, first work as we have done is determining the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure. Then we have to get the constrained structure, that is, first we have to arrest all the possible displacements. So, here we have to arrest theta B, we have to arrest theta B. Theta B means the column we have to fix it like this, the beam will have to fix it like this. So, it has to be arrested, theta B has to be arrested. And we have theta C also has to be arrested. So, make theta B equal to 0, theta C equal to 0, get the constrained structure. So, that is one point, right. Now, then we have to find out the fixed end moments. Fixed end moments. So, AB there is no lateral load, therefore, MF AB equal to 0 is also equal to MF BA, right. MF BC equal to minus WL by 8 equal to minus 48 into L is 6 meters by 8 equal to minus 36 kilonewton meter. MFCB equal to plus WL by 8 symmetric loading, therefore, it is 48 into 6 by 8 equal to 36 kilonewton meter. CD again is not subject to any lateral loading, therefore, MF CD equal to 0 is also equal to MF DC. And here theta B is one possible displacement, theta C is another possible displacement. These are the system coordinates. System coordinates. system coordinates, possible joint displacements. Right. Now coming to fixed end moment, here it is 0, 0, minus 36, plus 36, 0 and 0. These are the fixed end moments. Fixed end moments. Right. We know that the equilibrium equation is K into U equal to F. This is the equilibrium equation. Now let us first find out the value of F. So F equal to F of F minus F naught. F naught. F of F is the forces applied at the system coordinates. So this is one system coordinate. No external force is given. No moment is given at the coordinate 1. Similarly, here also there is no moment. Therefore, this is equal to along system coordinate 1 there is no external force, along system coordinate 2 also there is no external force. Sometimes they may give you a frame like this, they may give some UDL here, they may give some point load here. Now this load on the overhanging part can be considered as an equivalent moment. So here this can be considered as an anticlockwise moment. Forget about the overhang, that moment we can consider as an anticlockwise moment. So this can be considered as equivalent clockwise moment. So this is F of F1, F1 of F, this is F2 of F. So this is the first value, this is the second value. Now in our case, it is not the case, therefore we will forget about this, because this I told you when you will have such a situation to write the value of F of F. So in our case, we can forget about this value. Because for everything we need not do a separate problem, we can always understand. Right. F of F is equal to 0. Then F naught is the fixed coordinate force resulting from the fixed end moment. So here in the coordinate 1, along coordinate 1, this is due to the fixed end moment. So along coordinate 1, it is 0 minus 36. Then along system coordinate 2, we have to consider these two values. One is 36, the other one is 0, equal to minus 36 and 36 and 36. So that's about the fixed coordinate forces resulting from the fixed end moments. Therefore, the right hand side F equal to 0, 0 minus 36 and plus 36. So this will become minus and minus will become plus. So this is plus and this is minus. So this is our right hand side. So right hand side is 36 minus 36. This is the force vector. So right hand side is over. Next is system stiffness matrix. Now there are two coordinates, coordinate 1 and coordinate 2. Therefore, the size of the stiffness matrix will be 2 by 2. 2 by 2, namely K11, K12, K21, K22. Either use small k or capital K uniformly. So it will be of size 2 by 2. Right. Now for getting the system stiffness matrix, there are again force quantities. So we have to apply unit displacement, because displacements are not known. U1 and U2 are not known. U1 and U2 are theta b and theta c, they are not known. So applying unit value of theta b once, then applying unit value of theta b next, we have to find out develop the stiffness matrix for the structure. We are following structure approach or direct approach. Therefore, applying unit displacements along coordinate 1, this is our coordinate 1, we have to apply unit displacement. The displacement corresponding to this coordinate is rotation. Therefore, apply unit rotation here. And we have to remember one point, when we apply displacement along coordinate 1, this we have to arrest it. We have to allow the displacement only one at a time. Therefore, the displacement here will be 0. So this is the deflected surface. So here it will be 0, and here this value equal to unity. Then this being a rigid joint, when the beam undergoes a clockwise rotation, the column will also undergo the same rotation at the joint. So here also it is 1. That is rigid joint. Even after the deformation, the 90 degrees angle between the members will be maintained. So they will undergo the same rotation. Right. Now, K11, that is, whatever is the force that is required for causing rotation here, unit rotation here, this force will be K11. K11 is the force to be applied at coordinate 1 for causing unit rotation at coordinate 1. And here there will be a carryover moment at the next coordinate. We have to consider only the coordinates 1 and 2. The next coordinate is this. So here this is the force developed at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement at coordinate 1, with the condition that no displacement occurs except at the coordinate I. Right. Now, for this rotation, for this member, this is 4 EI by L. For unit rotation, we know when far end is fixed, it is 4 EI by L. Here also, when far end is fixed, this is 4 EI by L. Therefore, K11 will be equal to 4 E I1 by L1 plus 4 E, there are two members, I2 by L2. So let us take this as column AB, this as beam BC. Right. For the column, it is 4E, I is uniform. No, I is not uniform. I is I itself for the column. This mistake we should not commit. This is I, this is 2I, and this is I. Right. So 4EI by L for the column. For the beam, it is 4E into I2 is 2I. 2I by L2 equal to 6 meters. L2 equal to 6 meters. Now, this on simplification, let us avoid the simplification work. Finally, it is 7EI by 3. It is 7EI by 3, that is K11. Now, K21 will be half of this value. This is 4EI by L2, this is 2EI by L2 for the beam. It is 2EI I2 by L2. 2E I2 by L2, that is for the beam, equal to 2E, I is 2I, L2 is 6, equal to, so cancelling one value, it is 2EI by 3. 2EI by 3. It is not only K21, is also equal to K12. By symmetry, K12 equal to K21. K21 equal to 2EI by 3. 2EI by 3, right. Next is that of K22. K22 is the displacement at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement at coordinate 2 equal to. That is, forget about this. Apply unit displacements along coordinate 2 only. 2 only. So 2 only means this will undergo a clockwise rotation and this will be straight. So this is unity. So this joint being a rigid joint, even after the deformation the same angle will be maintained, therefore this will undergo a rotation and again it will be straight. So this also will undergo a clockwise rotation of unity. So this is the force that is required. The force that is required at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement at the coordinate 2, we have to find out K22. So for this column, first for this beam, that is 4E I2 by L2 plus this is 3 4E I3 by L3. That is for the column. This is member 3, right. I3 by L3. So this is equal to, for the beam, it is 4E, I2 is 2I, L is 6 meters, plus for the column, it is 4E, I by 4 meters, like this value, same value like this, same value. That is also equal to 7EI by 3. This is also equal to 7EI by 3, 7EI by 3. So in all the cases we find that EI by 3 is common, therefore EI by 3, here it is 7 and here it is 2 and here again it is 7. Therefore, it is 7 to 2 7. 7 to 2 7, that is the stiffness matrix, into U1 U2 equal to the right hand side. We will write it here. So, equilibrium equation is EI by 2, EI by 3 by 3, 7 2 2 7 into U1 into U2, U1 U2 equal to 36 minus 36. So, this is the equilibrium equation that we wanted, right. So, from this the final moment, I mean unknowns u1, u2, the unknown displacements u1 and u2 are. So, this when it goes to the right hand side, it will become 3ei. Let us write this as 7, 2, 2, 7 inverse into 36 and minus 36. So, this is the value, right. So, this on simplification 3 by ei into the inverse of this will be 1 by determinant equal to 7 into 7 49 minus 2 into 2 4 49 minus 4, then into 1 by determinant into the adjoint of the matrix. Adjoint, this 7 will go here and this 7, so anyway it is 7 7, but we have to understand that this has to go here and this has to come down, and these two will become minus. So, minus 2 into 36 minus 36. So, this we have to simplify. This is equal to 3 by 45 equal to 15, 1 by 45, 1 by 15. Therefore, 1 by 15 ei into, here it will be 7 into 36, first value 7 into 36 minus of, actually it is plus minus 2 into minus 36, first value. Second value minus 2 into minus 2 into 36 plus 7 into minus 36 plus 7 into minus 36 equal to so this value divided by 15, second value divided by 15, you will be getting the final value as 1 by ei into 21.6 minus 21.6 minus 21. So, this is equal to u1 and u2. So, this u1 is theta 1, u1 is theta b equal to 21.6 by ei, theta c equal to minus 21.6 by ei, minus 21.6 by ei, theta b and theta c. These are the values of u1 and u2. So, u1 is theta b, u2 is theta c. So, that they are the unknowns. So, hereafter we have to get the final moments, for which we are going to make use of the well known slope deflection equations. You have to write down the final moments. Final moments. So, for MAB equal to MFAB plus 2EI by L into 2 theta A plus theta B plus 3 delta by L So, m of AB here, for AB 0, 0, for this it is minus 36 plus 36, etc. We know the values. So, m of AB is 0 plus 2 EI, L for the member AB is 4 meters, theta A is 0, A is fixed, theta A is 0, no sway, therefore delta is 0, only theta B is 21.6 by EI. We will find that EI will get cancelled, this and this will become 2. Therefore, MAB equal to 10.8 kilonewton meter. Similarly, we can find out because slope deflection method is well known, equations are well known. Let us avoid spending time on the calculation of MAB, etc. So, MBA, I will just give only the final value. MBA equal to 21.6, then MBC, MCB, I will just mark these things in the figure. Let us save some time in here it is 10.8 clockwise, 10.8. Therefore, tension will be on the inner side, and here it is 21.6. This is clockwise, therefore tension will occur on the outside. This is 21.6 minus, therefore 21.6. And here again it is 21.6 because the frame is symmetrical. So, symmetrical loading and symmetrical values will be getting, but minus 21.6. Tension will be on the outer side, and here it is minus. So, this value is minus 10.8. Therefore, tension will be on the inner side. So, this is about the final moments. So, one can easily calculate these moments by using our standard slope deflection equations. Therefore, let us avoid spending time on this. Therefore, coming to the bending moment diagram, this is the frame. So, here tension is on the inner side, 10.8. So, 10.8 is on the inner side, and this is 21.6. 21.6. So, this is the bending moment diagram for the column. This is 10.8, this is 21.6. So, here tension is at the top, and here also tension is on the top. So, this is also 21. So, this is 21.6, this is also 21.6, and here tension is on the outer side. I hope you can see the diagram. Here tension is on the inside, 10.8, this is 21.6. So, this is 21. This is also 21.6 kilonewton meter. This is also kilonewton meter, right. Then we have to find out the simply supported moment. Only member BC is subjected to a central consonant load. So, for which you have to apply WL by 4. WL by 4, W is 48, L is 6 meters by 4 will be 12 into 6 equal to 72 kilonewton meter. Therefore, here it is 72 subjected to central concentrated load. Therefore, it will be a triangle having a maximum value of 72. Of course, we can find out the net value. We have to find out the net positive moment, which is 72 minus 21.6. that we can find out. Sorry. So this is minus, plus, minus. So this is the bending moment diagram for the beam. So this completes one problem on a symmetrical frame. I think in another about 20 minutes, I think I will be able to give introduction to one more problem in a very short time. So we need not spend one more hour for one more lecture for that problem. So I will just go fast. We can easily understand. I will give only outline and important values, so that we will consider a frame, a structure or a frame. One more frame we will take. This is the frame. Here it is fixed, and here it is fixed at the bottom. Here there is a roller support. Roller support, and this is subjected to a concentrated load of 20 kilonewton. This is 20 kilonewton. This is A, B, C, D and E. Is subjected to a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter. This is subjected to a central load of 50 kilonewton. 4 meters, so this is 4 meters. This is 3 meters, and this is 1 meter. And here this is also of height 4 meters. Height 4 meters. So no mention about the moment of inertia. That means I is uniform. I is uniform. So I will very briefly give you the procedure. So here theta B and theta C are the possible displacements. Theta B and theta C are the possible. Therefore, kinematic indeterminacy equal to 2. Equal to 2. Theta B is one coordinate. This is the frame. Frame. We will consider B. This is the roller support. So this is coordinate 1, theta B. This is coordinate 2. Coordinate 2. Then what about the overhang? Now this overhang can be considered to be, so this is B, C, D means, so this can be considered as 20 into 1 equal to 20 kilonewton meter. 20 kilonewton meter is the anticlockwise moment considered at B. At B it will cause a moment of 20 into 1 anticlockwise. Therefore, this value will be treated as the force applied at the system coordinate. Applied at the system coordinate. F of F is equal to 0. Therefore, F of F will have two values. F of F will be forces applied at the system coordinate one will be minus 20 and here no external force. So one is minus 20, the other one is 0. At coordinate 1 it is minus 20 due to the overhanging part. So that is f of f. Right. Next, I am just giving only the outline. Right. This is f of f. Now, here we can find out the fixed end moment. Due to the UDL, it is WL square by 12. WL square by 12. Here it is plus WL square by 12. The numerical values will be minus 15 and plus 15. Plus 15. That will. So W is known 20. L is 3 meters. WL square by 12 will give these values. So standard calculations. Then this is for BC. For CD, this is WL by 8, WL by 8. So that value will be 25 and 25. So here it is minus 25 and here it is plus 25. And for the column, it is 0, 0 because not subjected to any lateral loading. Therefore, coming to the fixed end moments, here it is minus 15 plus 15 minus 25 plus 25 and here it is 0 and 0. So these are the fixed end moments. So only calculations I am skipping. So that is about the fixed end moment due to the given loading. Right. Now, we have to get the right hand side force vector F equal to F of F minus F naught. F of F minus F naught. Now, so f of f, we have a value here. F of f is minus 20 because of the overhanging part. So here we have minus 20. At coordinate 2, that is at C, there is no external moment. So this is one value minus the forces resulting from the external force, I mean fixed end moments. That is here at this point, the forces resulting from the given load is minus 15. That minus 20 you should not add here. Minus 20 has been accounted here. So that need not be once again accounted here. So due to the external loading it is minus 15 and here at coordinate 2 it is actually this value will be 15 plus then plus minus 25 plus 0. So this value will be minus 20, 0. This is one value. Here it is minus 15. This is 15 minus 25 is minus 10. Minus 10 equal to minus 20 plus this becomes plus 15. Therefore, this is minus 5. Minus and minus become 10. So this is 10. So this is the right hand side. So right hand side F equal to, so I am writing here and there because since you know the problem you can understand, minus 5 and 10 because I want to finish in a very short time. So this is about the right hand side. Then we have to apply, we have to get the K matrix, the stiffness matrix, the system stiffness matrix K we have to get. So here again there are two coordinates, theta B and theta C. we have to apply one displacement at a time. So we have forgotten that of the overhanging part, we consider only B, C, D, E. This is fixed. This is also fixed. Now, when you apply theta B, theta C is to be arrested. Theta C is to be arrested. So, apply only theta B, only displacement along coordinate number 1. So, when you apply displacement along coordinate 1, this is fixed and here it is fixed. Therefore, it is horizontal. Horizontal. That is the only permitted displacement. So, this will be, so this value equal to unity. So, we have to get the value of the force at the coordinate 1 due to unit displacement at coordinate 1. So, this is equal to 4EI by L, that is all, 4EI by L1, let us say. L1 equal to 3 meters, for the beam it is equal to 3 meters. So, K11 equal to 4EI by 3 equal to 4EI by L equal to 4EI by 3. There is no variation of I, therefore, that is all. That is the only member. Overhanging part we have already dealt with separately. So, this you need not bother about the overhanging part. Right. Then, this is K11. K11. Then, we have to apply unit displacement, and here one more point, we have to find out the force here also. That is, the force at coordinate 2 due to unit force along coordinate 1, unit displacement along coordinate number 1. So, this value equal to 2EI by L, half the value under the same sign. So, 2EI by L equal to 2EI by 3, that is all, 2EI by 3, K11, K21. Later we will find K21 is also equal to K12, is also equal to K12, right. Then we have to apply unit displacement at the system coordinate 2. This is system coordinate 2, this is system coordinate 2, right. So, here it is fixed, here also it is fixed, here it is on rollers, but when we apply displacement at the coordinate 2, we have to treat the far end as fixed. You have to treat the end as fixed, should not allow any rotation. So, when you allow displacement along coordinate 2, this will undergo a clockwise rotation and here it is fixed, therefore 0. So, this joint being a rigid joint, this member will also undergo a rotation of unity, because here it is unity and here also it is unity, and this member will also undergo a rotation of, here it is 0. We have arrested A now. So, this is also unity. So, that is the rigid joint rotation. So, for this, what the force is at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement to coordinate 2, K22. K22 is the force developed at coordinate 2 due to unit displacement at coordinate 2. So, this value equal to, say, for this it is 4EI by L, 4EI by, for one member it is 4EI by B, for BD. Then for BE, that is also 4EI by 4 plus 4EI by 4. Then for the member, C, it is CD, it is CE and CB. For CB, again it is 4EI, because far end is treated as fixed, 4EI by L equal to 3 meters, L equal to 3 meters. So, this on addition will give 10EI by 3. Addition and simplification will give you 10EI by 3. Therefore, the K matrix will be, now here EI by 3 is common in all the cases. EI by 3, EI by 3. Therefore, EI by 3, first one is 4, K11, K21, K12 equal to 2, 4. This is K21 is 2 EI by 3. K21 equal to K12 equal to 2 EI by 3. So, EI by 3 we have taken outside, this is 2 and this is also 2. K22 is, this is 10. 4 to 10 is the system stiffness matrix. So, the stiffness matrix for the system is this value. Therefore, the equilibrium equation is, I will avoid writing certain things. So, EI by 3, 4 to 10 into U1 into U1 and U2 equal to say finally this is the value, F equal to minus 5 and 10. After all simplification, this is minus 5 and this is 10. This is the right hand side. So, solving this U1, U2, U1, U2 equal to 3 by EI, 4 to 10 inverse of this into minus 5 minus 10. So, we can do the calculations as before. So, inverse of this is 1 by determinant and adjoint of the matrix, doing simplification, multiplication, etc. Finally, you will be getting U1, U2 equal to 1 by EI minus 5.833 and 4.167. So, this is our theta B, this is our theta C. So, theta B is minus 5.833 by EA. So, theta B equal to minus 5.833 by EI, theta C equal to 4.167 by EI. So, that is about the unknowns by the direct stiffness approach. So, using the slope deflection equations, we can get the final moments. Final moments, one value I will just write, MBC equal to MFBC plus 2EI by L into 2 theta B plus theta C plus 3 delta by L. So, MFBC we know it is minus 15. So, MFBC is minus 15 plus 2EI, L is 3 meters into 2 theta B, delta is 0. So, 2 theta B is 2 into minus 5 therefore minus 5.833 by EI, and theta C is 4 plus 4.167 by EI, and of course delta is 0. So, EI and EI will get cancelled, we will be getting the value as minus 20. And similarly, we can get the values. So, for this it is minus 20, and for this CB will be 16.667. I will just avoid these calculations, and here it is CD, it is minus 20.833, minus 20.833, and DC will be 27.084. So, here 27.084, and the CE for this member, it is 4 plus 4.167, and here it is again plus 2.084, 2.08. So, these are the final moments that are obtained in the member BC, CD and CE using the slope deflection equations. I will just skip these calculations, these are easy, so the viewers can easily do it. So, that is why we have not spent time on this. Right. Now, coming to the bending moment diagram, this is the member, this is the structure, this is C, E, this is C, this is D, this is E, and here we have B. So, this is our B, this is A. Now, here there is a load, and here only people have some confusion. That is, if you consider these two members separately, so this will cause a clockwise moment of 20 into 1, 20 into 1 in the member BA, Now, coming to this structure, this will cause anticlockwise moment, So, this is what we have considered as F of F. In this structure, B, C, D, this is anticlockwise. F of F, for which we have considered this anticlockwise, because on this structure, it is anticlockwise. Whereas, in the cantilevering portion, it is only clockwise, 20 into 1. So, this will cause tension at the top. So, in the bending moment diagram, say this will be 0 to 20, due to the load on the overhanging part. This is 20. This is the loading on BA, plus this is minus 20. This will also cause tension at the top. So, here also in the beam BC also, this is on the top 20, right, and in the member CB it is 16.667. So, it is 16 less value, 16.667, 16. So, this value is 16.667, that is for the member ABC, right. Now, for this member it is minus 20.833. Therefore, here for this member it is 20. So, this value is 20.833, this value 20.833, and here it is 27.084. So, this value is 27.084, not 84 meter. So, this is for the member CD. And coming to the vertical member, for this it is clockwise 4.167. So, that means tension on this side 4 point something, here 2 point something on the right hand side. So, this value is 4.167. This is 2.084 kilonewton meter. So, this is about the support moments. So, one thing you have to note is, we have to add all these three values here. So, this is plus 16, plus 4, 20 point something, minus 20 point something. The algebraic sum here must be equal to 0. That we have to check. When these three values are added, the algebraic sum must be equal to 0. That we are getting. Now, on this we have to superimpose the diagram for the simply supported moment. So, here it is parabolic because it is subject to UDL, and this value is 22 point for WL square by 8 is 22.5 kilonewton meter. And next one is central load, for which it is 50. This value is 50, total is 50, and we have to subtract the negative value for getting the minus, net positive value. So, that calculation we can, because we have done number of problems, therefore, the viewers will not find it difficult. This is minus, this is plus, this is minus, and this is plus, and this is minus. Other calculations the viewers can easily complete it. So, this is the bending moment diagram. So, I have just gone very fast, I have given only the outline. I think since we have discussed number of problems already, this will be more than sufficient, and I think the viewers can do it and you can complete the calculation. This is the bending moment diagram for the given beam. So, that completes the analysis of a portal frame, symmetrical portal frame with 2 degrees of redundancy, and also a frame, another frame with 2 degrees of indeterminacy. Here the overhanging part is the special, how to deal with the overhanging part, what is f of f, how it is to be accounted. If that is known, the problem, otherwise it is also another problem with 2 degrees of kinematic indeterminacy. But the change you have to, the viewers will have to note down this change, how this overhanging part is considered, how we write f of f, and how we draw the bending moment diagram. So, I think that completes this lecture. So, thank you for your patience.